Hello, I'm Brenda Martin with Inside Huntsville, and Happy New Year to each of you. Thanks for joining me today. What is the most popular New Year's resolution? You guessed it, losing weight. It is also on the top 10 list of those that are commonly broken. My guests today are professionals in the business, and I'm happy to have them here to talk the business of overall wellness. Kevin Reddy is the program manager of Huntsville Hospital's Wellness Center, and that's located in the medical mall. And Anna Key is a registered dietitian. Hello to both of you and welcome to our show.
Hello, Brenda. Yeah.
Really excited about talking about wellness, particularly at the beginning of the year. I'd like to talk about the facility first. What does the facility offer the community?
Well,
Kevin?
I like to say that it's all about options. And, you know, oftentimes we get bored with doing one thing. So at the wellness centers, we offer a lot of different things. We have the personalized screens on the up-to-date fitness equipment. We have a pool where we do water aerobics. There's also lap swimming that can be done. We have group fitness classes like Zumba, yoga, Pilates, very popular ones like that. We provide towels, so you don't necessarily have to bring your own towel.
Okay.
And then, you know, we have the professionals on staff. We have the certified personal trainers, we have the registered dietitians, and we have the licensed massage therapist. Well,
you know, I was going to ask you what makes Huntsville's Wellness Center different than others, but you just explained it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that?
Well, I think, you know, a lot of people look at the wellness centers and think these people should know what they're doing because they're affiliated with the hospital. And that's exactly right. All of our staff are certified and at least have a bachelor's degree in their respective field. So we want to make sure not only can we work with the healthy people, but we can work with the people who may not be so healthy.
Okay. Kevin, Alabama has seen its obesity rate increase in the past 15 years. I think I'm part of that too. In fact, the state is the second obese state in the nation. The city of Huntsville's mayor, Tommy Battle, and Huntsville Hospital CEO, my good friend, David Spiller, kicked off an initiative in 2012 called Healthy Huntsville, an 8-week it's a challenge for the people of Huntsville. Talk about how important that initiative is and how can we get our viewers involved in that?
Well, we started to realize, some of the fitness and nutrition and wellness leaders in the community started realizing it's going to take more than just individual businesses. We really need to partner together. And what we like to think of it as is we partner with any fitness and nutrition organization in Madison County who's trying to get people to eat better and to move more.
Okay.
So it started with a weight loss challenge in 2012, and now it's grown into, we have some very keystone events throughout the year. We kick it off with Scale Back Alabama, which starts next week. And
next week. Now, what is that?
Scale Back Alabama is a statewide contest that the state of Alabama actually encourages people to participate in. They have weigh-ins next week, and there's various locations throughout the county. If you go to the Scale Back Alabama website,
you'll see it.
You'll see that. And what they want you to do is lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks. And if you do that, there's some prizes that are offered with that, some cash prizes. And then you only need teams of 2 people to do it. So they encourage you to get a buddy because you're generally more successful, and the weigh-outs are in April. So you have 10 weeks to lose weight. So Healthy Huntsville starts with that. We kind of kick off with that. We do a press conference generally. And then throughout the year, there's a number of events that we have on our calendar.
Okay,
talk
about that.
There is a calendar at ourvalleyevents.com, and there's a Healthy Huntsville tab. And you can click on that calendar and see nutrition seminars, free fitness classes, free screenings for, you know, blood sugar, glucose, cholesterol, diabetes, things like that. And then a couple of other keystone events we have are free fitness classes in Big Spring Park. Those are during the warmer months, generally April through October. So every Saturday there's generally a free fitness class. And there's also the Mayor's Walking Challenge.
Okay.
So that was started last year in conjunction with Healthy Huntsville. Last year it was walk 25 miles in a month. this year it's going to be walking 100 miles in 3 months.
And that's from September to November?
To November, so you have 3 months to walk
Okay.
100 miles. That's really the challenge. 100 miles is a good milestone.
Yes, yes.
And really very doable. You know, people can average about 2 miles a day, a few times a week, and really meet
That's
that
right.
goal. And if you met that goal, you're meeting the guidelines that the experts put out for your cardiovascular exercise.
Okay, Kevin, now there's something else that this question, those that are not used to exercising, what exercises would be good for those individuals?
Well, we always tell people if you're trying to get in shape or get healthier or to lose weight, there's a couple of key things you want to address. One is the nutrition aspect. We never can forget that.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit
Right,
later.
Anna will discuss that. The other is the cardiovascular aspect,
yes.
okay? Walking, biking, it may be taking, you know, a cycling class or a Zumba class, something like that. And strength training is another aspect, very important. A lot of people leave that out. They think, I don't need to do strength training to lose weight, but there's a very important connection with that as well. And then there's also the flexibility part of it with stretching. So we need to make sure we keep things in balance. So if we have something that's tight, we need to loosen it up, especially for postural issues and things like that.
Is that right? Okay. So now, if I can't go to the gym and I'm at home, what kind of exercises can I do?
There's some great things you can do at home, and I brought some things to show you. You know, with a pair of dumbbells, you
Yes.
can do a lot of great things at home. You know, curls, presses, tricep stuff overhead.
And what's the weight?
Well, you start out with a weight where you feel that you can do approximately 15 to 20 reps comfortably, but you feel those muscles working. If it's too light and too easy, yeah, you get a little benefit, but you're really, you know, you can get more for your money if you get a little bit heavier weight. Now, obviously, you don't want to be so heavy that you're grunting and straining and you can't get five of them.
Right.
So that's a good guideline to remember.
And you can purchase these
Anywhere.
Okay.
Any retail store, you know, will have them.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So generally, if you're just starting out, for a lot of people, we'll say 5 pounds is a good weight to start with,
Yes.
because you can do a lot with 5 pounds.
Okay, good.
Another option is these bands.
The
Okay.
bands.
You can buy these, like I said, almost any retail
All right.
store. The ones with the handles obviously are more convenient, but once again, you can do curls with them. You can do rows with them. You can put it behind your back and do chest press with them. So you can do a lot of things with the bands. So that gets a lot of your upper body stuff. And then with your lower body, you know, squats, or if you have knee problems, do partial squats. Hold on to a chair, hold on to something sturdy for balance. Do partial lunges, okay? You don't have to necessarily go all the way down if you have some knee issues. And that's what we find, is that they can hurt your knees. If something hurts, we want to modify that and do that. And then we also have a great, there's another tool, and Anna can hand that to me, is if you have a fitness ball.
Oh, yes.
These are fantastic, okay? You can do abdominal crunches on them. You can do, you can lay your back on them and do chest presses on them. You can do a lot of different things. And what they do is they activate your core area a lot more.
Yes.
So you get a lot of those core exercises that are
Yes.
important, not only for trimming up, but also for stability and strength and reducing back pain as well.
Okay.
Thanks, Anna.
That core is very important, isn't it? Oh.
Very, very important. You know, a lot of the problems that people have, especially with low back, is because their core is weak or out of balance.
Okay.
You know, they may go into the gym and do 1,000 sit-ups, but they don't do anything for their low back. And so, you know, your body's out of balance. And really, balance is a big key when it comes to strength training.
Well, I'm going to make this a little personal here. Now, Kevin, I'm working out 3 days a week. A little shout out to Julie Moen, who is my trainer. And I know I hadn't been doing enough cardio. Okay, so I'm back on the treadmill and doing that kind of thing. But I haven't lost the kind of weight that I think I should. Well, let me just say, I'm told that I need to lose at least 30 pounds. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the nutrition with my nutritionist, Anna, sitting over there. But right now I'm talking about exercising. And so what should I do
Okay, so the experts, which is the American College of Sports Medicine,
Yes.
anytime you see exercise guidelines, generally they put it out in conjunction with the American Heart Association
Okay.
or the National Institutes of Health. And they'll tell you you want to do your cardio on most days of the week. So generally that's 4 or more
Is that
days
right?
of the week.
Okay.
Yes. They encourage you to get 30 minutes or more
Okay.
on each of those days.
I see.
So that's a good place to start. And what we've seen, with people losing weight at the Wellness Center, 5 days is a great number. You get most days of the week you're getting your cardio, but you also get a couple days to rest, let your body heal up so you're not overdoing it as well. And that's important. You don't want to overdo it and get injured.
Right.
So if you do your cardio 5 or more days of the week for 30 minutes, and you're doing it at a moderate intensity, at least a moderate intensity, you're burning a good number of calories, and that's important. With weight loss, it comes down kind of to the simple formula. If you burn more calories than what you take in, you should be losing weight.
Okay.
So that's a good guideline for your cardio. Now, if you're doing the moderate stuff and you've been doing that for a while, then it's good to add a little intensity in there. They've even found,
okay.
1 to 2 days a week of higher intensity stuff is helpful.
And that was going to be my next question, and that how much or how intense should my exercising be?
Okay.
But does that depend on one's age, or does it depend on?
It does. It depends on age and fitness level, and also your health situation. If you have some
Okay.
injuries, things like that, you want to be careful. But let's assume you don't have any injuries or joint problems.
Yes.
Then if you're just starting out with exercising, start your cardio at a moderate intensity. And for you, that means after 10 minutes of walking or biking or whatever it may be, you want your heart rate to be over 100 beats a minute.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, if you're, it is age dependent. So let's say if you're a 30-year-old, after 10 minutes, you want your heart rate to be above 110 beats a minute. And kind of going on the other end, if you were a 70-year-old, you want your heart rate to be over 90 beats a minute after 10
Okay.
minutes. So there's a range that the heart rate should be within. So that's a moderate level activity. And what they found is you get a lot of benefit with fat burning with that. You get the heart strengthening benefits. You get the kind of the feel-good benefits of exercise where you have more energy, you're going to sleep better that night, and that sort of thing.
Well, in addition to exercising, one must eat right. Eat healthy, not right, but healthy. And with us to talk about that is Anna, my nutritionist.
Yes,
I love her to death. Grab that fat, Anna.
Okay, yes.
Grab the fat
Yes.
and talk about it. Oh my goodness.
So we mentioned scale back, Alabama with the goal being to lose 10 pounds within that 10 weeks. This is 5 pounds of fat. So you're looking at losing 2 of these by the time April rolls around.
Goodness, 2 of those.
2 of these. So this is 5, this is 1 pound of fat, and this is 1 pound of muscle, just for comparison purposes.
That's 1, okay.
1 pound. So you feel like you work real hard one week, you're
Yes.
tracking, you're keeping your diaries, you're eating
Yes.
right, and you step on the scale and you're like, only 1 pound. But I mean, that's a fair amount right
That's
there.
a fair,
when you see
thanks for showing that, can we see
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
Pick it up. Yeah, that's 1 pound
1 pound.
of fat.
1 pound.
Huh, okay. That's encouraging.
That is. It makes your efforts worthwhile, definitely.
Yes, okay. Well, what else do we need to know?
There's multiple things I think that are contributing to obesity. The first thing is our portion sizes are out of control, especially when we eat out. Exactly.
Well, why are the restaurants? I mean, of course, I eat out a lot. Let's kind of make this a little personal here. I eat out a lot. I'm a widow. I don't like to cook, and it's easy.
Right.
Okay. So tell me, what should I do? Because restaurants give you all kind of foods.
They do. And I think on one hand, we want to eat healthy, but on the other hand, we want our money's worth. So you will see restaurants advertise these big portion sizes, and you don't want to go away hungry. So that's one aspect. The other is something that we talked about in our session was just educating yourself on what you're eating and how many calories. And if we use a personal example, we were going to Zoe's, you were
going to Zoe's,
the salmon kebabs, which wasn't a bad choice.
Okay.
Salmon's got your omega-3s, your heart-healthy fats, but that meal was over 900 calories. when we looked it up on the
That's right.
MyFitnessPal.
That's right.
So if you use that free app, which is MyFitnessPal, or
Yes.
there's other free ones out there, or the restaurants have their calories online, as long as you educate yourself. So we found a few other meals that you would like, staying within that goal of 500 to 600 calories.
Okay.
So you were close to double of where you should be. And it could be, if you really enjoy the salmon kebabs, to take half home. We've all heard that
Yes,
trick.
yes, yes.
And eat it later for dinner if you
Yes.
didn't want to cook or weren't going out again.
Yes.
So that's a good
And
idea.
that's what I find I do. I will sometimes, well, I'm beginning to, let's put it like that. When they bring me the food, my food, I ask for a to-go plate.
Right away.
Right away.
Yes. Because you'll just
Okay.
keep talking and
Yes.
keep, picking at it.
And that seems to help a lot.
It does. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
You know, asking maybe not to bring the basket of bread or the basket of chips.
Yes.
Or
yes.
a big challenge I give people is to stick to 10 chips when you sit down to a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Because if you don't, I mean, if you look around, you just notice people mindlessly shoving them in their mouths. They're
right.
bringing more baskets, more salsa, and then you fill up, but you've ordered this meal and you eat it anyway.
That's good to know. 10, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
good. Well, what about our portion size?
Absolutely. So I would say another huge part is not getting enough vegetables. Because it's so much easier to get those readily available starches and carbohydrates. And yes, they're comforting in this, cold weather that we've got going on. So really filling our plate half with vegetables is a great goal.
Okay.
So the pyramid has gone, and now we have something called My Plate, which divides the plate into fourths, and the goal being a fourth of your plate should be a lean meat,
Okay.
which would be skinless chicken, your round or loin cuts of red meat, which would be a sirloin steak versus a ribeye, a pork tenderloin versus a pork shoulder. Then you have your sources of starch. Potatoes are fine as long as you realize that they're a starch and not a vegetable.
Okay.
So we wouldn't want to go to Cracker Barrel and say, oh, I got a vegetable plate. I got mac and cheese, pinto beans, mashed potatoes,
Yes.
cornbread. They're all starches.
They're all starches.
Yes.
Okay, well now listen, what about white potato versus sweet potato? Is there a difference?
I think we all hear the easy label of don't eat anything white.
Yes.
And there's some truth to that, but there are some good things to white potatoes. They're a high potassium food. They contain fiber if you eat the peeling. It's really how big the potato is and what we add to the potatoes. So low-fat condiments like a light margarine, your Smart Balance Light. I can't believe it's not butter light.
Okay.
A 2% cheese, a low-fat sour cream. But the sweet potato does have the slight edge
Okay,
with the
it
beta
does.
carotene and the vitamin A. But, we have to have a little variety. We have to enjoy what we eat, and we may not enjoy eating a sweet potato every single
All
time.
the time, yes.
So choosing your better starches there, and then choosing the vegetables to cover half of your plate. And we have the great steamer vegetables out there, or
Oh, yes.
that you pop in
In the microwave.
Yes, frozen steamers or fresh steamers, easy preparation, no thought to it. And then you have like the frozen stir-fry vegetables that you can also microwave. They're not necessarily in the steamer pouch, but a lot of shortcuts, the bagged salad, the bagged spinach, the bagged carrots. It's just thinking more of the vegetable as your entree. It's easy to say, what are we going to have for dinner? And you immediately think, what meat am I going to have? But kind of think, what vegetable am I going to
veggies?
have?
Okay.
And then the other two as the side notes.
Okay. Those steamers are great.
They are.
And in fact, I had one last night. The
for you.
broccoli.
Good, good. They're very easy.
So I'm paying attention.
Yes, good.
I'm paying attention.
Good.
Now let's talk about salt and sugar.
Okay. We get too much of both. It's easy. I tell people you can really find things at restaurants that fall into that criteria of the 500 to 600 calories, but the sodium is always going to be so high. So if
The sodium will be always high?
always,
Really?
yes.
Why is that?
It's cheaper to add salt. Restaurants aren't going to go towards the fresh herbs and spices. They're just going to go to the quick salts and marinades and higher sodium items. Baste it with butter. That's why you keep going back, to that place and ordering again and again. But the easiest way to reduce your sodium would be to reduce the amount of times you eat out within a week.
Okay.
My goal for people is 2 to 3, but if you're used to going 2 to 3 times a day, then decreasing to once a day is going to help
absolutely.
you.
Oh,
So
yes.
other ways is to use fresh produce, fresh meats instead of more of the processed meats like ham and sausage and bacon, making things from scratch somewhat, using fresh herbs and spices. It doesn't mean you have to make your pasta from scratch, but there are things you can do. Or if you use things in a box, maybe only using half the seasoning packet. And I will confess to that. Sometimes I get that couscous or rice with a seasoning packet and just use half, and that will help. As far as the sugar goes, I call drinks deal breakers. This is 240 calories of straight sugar. This is 17 teaspoons.
Oh my goodness.
Within this soda.
Within that Coke. Okay.
And our bodies really don't register the liquid sugar like we do solid food. So we're gonna down this 240 calories, and we're still gonna want something else later, whether it's a snack or more at mealtime, because we haven't chewed, our body hasn't released those hormones that tell us when we're hungry or full. The new guideline is to kind of try to stay around 100 calories of added sugar for women and 150 for men. They always get more. And that is through the American Heart Association, because we get too many of those refined sugars through desserts and quick things.
Ooh. What about salt? Is that salt there?
This is actually more cholesterol, switching gears, all related to the heart. This is the progression of heart disease.
Oh my.
So the more saturated fat and trans fat that we consume, which are your bad types of fat, the more our liver is triggered to really produce this LDL or bad cholesterol, the kind that accumulates in artery walls. So let's say you go and have a stress test and a heart cath, and they tell you you're 90% blocked. That could be this fourth model here, where all it takes is a little piece of that to break off and occlude the small, area of movement that you already have. Oh my goodness. So this is a pretty powerful display. And unfortunately, they've done autopsies on young children that have passed from something completely different, but their arteries are already progressing quicker these days because of the fast food and high-fat snacks that they consume.
Oh my goodness.
It can be done, though. Don't get too discouraged. You can make small changes that all add up. And we set a few goals within our first session of let's really focus on the eating out. Everyone's got different goals to work on, different struggles to overcome. It doesn't take eating perfect to lose weight and get healthy. If you just make those couple of changes, you're gonna see the weight come off, and all of this will follow. Your blood pressure will go down, your cholesterol will go down, your blood sugar will go down. All of it can improve with just a few small changes.
It's so amazing how quickly you can put the weight on. I mean, I never, ever had to worry about my weight. And now I'm 30 pounds overweight. And I'm going to work at this because, first of all, I'm at the age where I need to eat healthy. But the one thing that I think we need to share with our viewers is this is a lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
It's not something that you can do overnight.
No.
Because you're going to continue to live. Okay? You're going to continue to, I'm going to continue to travel. I'm going to continue to eat out. I'm going to continue to go to, activities where there's food. But I have to be able to do it in a smart way.
Exactly. That's the biggest part, is committing to this is a lifelong challenge. It gets easier as I go, but sure, we're going to teach you strategies to still do those things. We're not going to tell you have to eat at home every meal, you can't go out and have fun, but there's easy tips that can help you do this. But yes, looking at it for the long haul, because statistics show that we gain 2 to 3 pounds every Christmas.
Oh wow.
And we don't lose it like we think with our New Year's resolution. So 10 years later, we're 20 or 30 pounds heavier.
Here we are.
And so it's more fun to put the weight on, and
it's not fair.
No, it takes time. You didn't gain it overnight, so it's going to take time.
Well, my producer is telling me my time is running short, and gee whiz, it just went too fast. We're going to have you on again.
Definitely.
Particularly once I lose the 30 pounds. How about that?
Great.
Okay?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we will definitely have you guys on again. What timely information this is to have the both of you on to share this information with our audience. And we want to thank you so very much for being here. You're doing a great job in the community. and we need you guys, and we just are excited that you're there for us. So we want to thank you for that. And we want to thank each and every one of you for being with us today. For Inside Huntsville, I'm Brenda Martin. Have an enjoyable day.
Everybody knows her and they know her name. She's always doing for others. She's a young man's